My name's Graham Cogle. I was born in Nairobi in Kenya, and my position within Bournemouth Flying Club is I'm a flying instructor, and I've been flying for 10 years. I got into flying when my mother bought me it was actually a gliding lesson initially. When I set my mind on something, I go straight for it, and flying has been no different in that respect. So I collected the money together, and I went down to Southampton Flying Club. I put all my money down, and I flew it off as fast as I could. Favourite plane to fly here is the Partenavia, and that's the one I'm sitting in right now. The reason I like this one, it's a twin engine aircraft, which for me is something a little bit different to fly. I think it's a very, very pretty aircraft. I just enjoy it. On my first solo flight, I wasn't aware that it was going to be my first solo. Clearly my instructor knew I was getting close. They'd informed my family, who had actually turned up on that day. The first I really knew about it was when the instructor left the aircraft and said, right, go out and do one solo by yourself. There's a lot to do to get an aeroplane ready prior to flight. You've got checklists to follow, but underneath you've got the butterflies really fluttering, and it's really quite exciting, but you need to make sure that everything's set and you're ready to go. The flight itself was reasonably straightforward, but it's trying to fly an aircraft and be excited all at the same time. It's quite a challenge. The best moment in my flying career, I think, was the time I passed my multi-engine instrument rating. It's supposed to be the most difficult flying qualification that you can get. It takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a significant amount of money. I didn't actually believe I'd passed it. So when my examiner turned to me and said, "Congratulations, you've passed," I turned to him and said, "You must be kidding." Probably the biggest challenge I faced in actually flying an aircraft is the time when we had an engine failure. We were flying a twin engine aircraft. I was on instruments, so I had no view of the outside world. We'd done a low approach and a go around to a small airfield. My instructor's job was to simulate failing of one of the two engines. This he did. As the student, I had to sort out the aircraft, make sure it kept flying, shut down the engine that we had the simulated failure with. All this happens relatively close to the ground, so we're 500, 600, 700 feet above the ground. Whilst all this was going on, we had a problem with the other engine. So we found ourselves in a glider, effectively, with no power to the engines, so we had to deal with that situation by bringing up the engine we knew that was good, the one that we'd simulated a failure with. Whilst doing that, we lost some additional altitude, and then we had to shut down the engine that was previously providing the power. We were quite a long way from home on that day. So we nursed the aircraft home. It was fine. There wasn't any further drama. We elected to go all the way back to Bristol, was our base, and we were offered the airfield of every airfield or the runway of every airfield on the way home. So air traffic services were good to us. We got home without any further incident, and we were met by the fire services at the edge of the runway, and it was nice to be home that day there. So what does the future hold for me? I'm not sure. The whole of the aviation industry is a little uncertain at the moment. It seems to be contracting at present, and that puts a lot of skilled pilots into the market. So there aren't currently the opportunities for people to move up from the bottom level, which is effectively where I am. I'm flying as a passenger, I'm very much a sit at the window and look outside and enjoy the view. I really enjoy the view out the window. Even when I'm instructing, I feel I've got one of the best offices in the world.
But I'm flying so